Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Peace English Channel and Speak Easy English, the podcast that helps you sound more confident and natural in English conversations. I'm your host, Sarah, and today's episode is super practical. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in a conversation and thought, I have no idea what this person just said, but I don't want to sound rude or embarrassed? If yes, you're definitely not alone. Today, I'll teach you 20 polite, natural phrases you can use when you don't understand someone. These phrases are perfect for work, travel, classes, meetings, and everyday conversations. And don't worry, native speakers use these phrases all the time, so grab a notebook or just listen carefully, and let's get started. Part 1. Simple and polite phrases. Let's start with simple. Polite phrases you can use in almost any situation. Phrase 1. Sorry, this is short and very common. Just make sure your tone rises at the end. Example, sorry, this means, please repeat that phrase too. Pardon, this is slightly more formal than sorry. Example, pardon, very polite. Very safe. Phrase 3. Could you repeat that, please? A classic and polite phrase. Example, could you repeat that, please? Perfect for work or school. Phrase 4. I didn't catch that. Native speakers use this a lot. Example, sorry, I didn't catch that. It sounds natural and friendly. Phrase 5. Can you say that again? Simple and direct. Example, can you say that again? Add please if you want to sound extra polite. Part 2. When you understand a little, but not everything. Now let's talk about moments when you understand part of what someone says, but not all of it. Phrase 6. I'm not sure I understand. Honest and polite. Example, I'm not sure I understand. Phrase 7. Could you explain that? Great, when the idea is confusing. Example, could you explain that a bit more? Phrase 8. What do you mean by that? Useful when words are unclear. Example, what do you mean by deadline? Phrase 9. Can you give me an example? Examples make everything clearer. Example, can you give me an example? Phrase 10. I don't quite follow. This is very natural and professional. Example, sorry, I don't quite follow. Part 3. Asking someone to speak differently. Sometimes the problem isn't the idea, it's how the person is speaking. Phrase 11. Could you speak more slowly? Very helpful for language learners. Example, could you speak more slowly, please? Phrase 12. Can you say that more clearly? Good for phone calls or noisy places. Example, can you say that more clearly? Phrase 13. Could you rephrase that? This means, say it in a different way. Example, could you rephrase that? Please. Phrase 14. Can you use simpler words? Don't be afraid to ask. Example, can you use simpler words? Phrase 15. What does that word mean? Perfect for learning new vocabulary. Example, what does that word mean? Part 4. Professional and workplace phrases. Now let's focus on professional or workplace situations. Phrase 16. Could you clarify that? Very common in meetings and emails. Example, could you clarify that point? Phrase 17. Let me make sure I understand. This shows effort and professionalism. Example, let me make sure I understand you want this by Friday. Phrase 18. So, what you're saying is great for checking understanding. Example, so what you're saying is we need to revise the report. Phrase 19. Did you mean helpful for confirmation? Example, did you mean next week or this week? Phrase 20. Could you walk me through that? Excellent for instructions or processes. Example, could you walk me through that step by step? Final tips and wrap up before we finish. Here's an important reminder. Asking for clarification is not a weakness. It shows confidence, interest, and good communication skills. Native speakers expect these questions, and they usually appreciate them. Practice tip. Choose 3 phrases from today's episode and practice using them this week. That's it for today's episode of Speak Easy English. If you enjoyed this podcast, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend learning English. Thanks for listening, and remember, it's always okay to ask when you don't understand. See you next time. Bye.